back to another episode, guys. I apologize. I had to change the time like 15 times today. I was stuck at work. I couldn't make it at 11 o'clock or 11:30 or 11:45. So here we are. How are you, my friend Brandon? Welcome. Thank you for being here.
How you doing?
So we're gonna get started quickly, guys, because obviously, again, I'm already backed up. So thank you guys for being here. The ones who are here. I apologize for those who showed up earlier and are not here right now. I couldn't help it. You guys know that I always, I try to keep the times as much as possible, but when I can't, I really can't. So let's say hello to you guys real quickly, and then we get started with the fire news. Again, for those who haven't been watching me from day one, this was a conversation I was talking about about 2 years ago. The conversation was Kit Fisto will never be made, even though he was teased years before that. It will never be made. He will never be made. He will never be made. What did I keep saying to you guys? For those who remember this conversation on other people's streams every time, it's only a matter of time. I remember. It's only a matter of time. Why? Hot Toys is at a level now that it doesn't make sense for them to tease anything and not make it, right? We could say that it's strategy sometimes, for example, the Vulture, right? Oh, so why did they tease it and it's still years later? It'll be here. It's just for whatever reason, it doesn't fit their plans of release. It doesn't fit with what they're working on, which seems to be Star Wars only at the moment, right? So this is why it's not out yet. Is it coming? 100%. So anything you guys see on anything upcoming or coming soon or anything like that, it's only a matter of time. There is nothing teased by Hot Toys at the moment that is not coming. Baba, welcome. Thank you for being here.
How you doing?
Let's see who else is in the house. He says, "Good morning, Hot Toys Collector. This guy's almost..." Yes, so we're gonna get into it, but yeah, 12.5 inches, guys. Massive figure. Uncarded in the house. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here.
How you doing?
Hot Toys just Fisto the Jazzing Catwoman. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. How disrespectful. Paul, how are you, my friend? Welcome. Thank you for being here twice. I appreciate it.
How you doing?
My friend. Thank you for being here. We got Leo in the house. How are you, my friend? Welcome.
How you doing?
Here, channel member. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. We got Nefty in the house. How are you, my friend?
How you doing?
Let's see who else is in here. We got Rob. Welcome, my friend. Thank you.
How you doing?
Oh, look at that. Brandon in the house, repping the merch. Look at you.
It was the best $104.95 I've ever spent.
Can you imagine? Oh, my God. Nice, right?
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Rob, actually, it's funny you bring that up because Rob should have his in hand right now. Rob, let me know if you got yours already, please. We got Albert in the house. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here. See who else is in the house. Thank you guys for being here. Anthony in the house. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here. Welcome. Uncarded says, Fab said live stream delayed due to him making new. Imagine. Unbelievable.
I can confirm that, by the way.
He's pre-ordering all the inner and jazzing stuff. Can you imagine? We got Derek in the house. Welcome.
How you doing?
Play because of his job, he's giving out sensual massages to pay for his Hot Toys. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yikes.
Oh my God. Let's see who else. We got Joker J in the house. How are you, my friend? Welcome.
How you doing?
Being here. Welcome, guys. Welcome. He says so. No stream, I'm guessing. We just got Kid Fisto. Oh my God. Talia, how are you, my friend? Welcome. Thank you for being here.
How you doing?
Welcome, my friend. He said hello again. Thank you for being here, my friend. We got Chris in the house. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for being
here.
How you doing? Chris, always here. Always. We got Luch in the house. Welcome.
How you doing?
What up, my Star Wars jazzing in our collectors? This guy. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Damn,
I'm living proof. I'm living proof that the t-shirt makes the man. See how much better I look now? My tank top was so mid before.
So mid. now you look fancy.
There you go.
I thought I missed the show this morning. Unbelievable, this guy. Zapko in the house. We got Chris in the house from the UK. Welcome. See you. He's never really here. The other Chris is always here. He's never really here. So it's nice to see him sometimes. You know, once a year. Seva, how are you, my friend? Welcome. Gives me hope for my vulture. No, it's coming. It's coming 100%. Like I said, Hot Toys is not, doing that for nothing. Obviously, they could put it to rest for a second. But it's coming. We got Rudy in the house. Welcome, my friend. Very excited for that green light sword. Laser sword. Look at this guy. Unbelievable. What a rookie. He doesn't even know the terminology. Unbelievable. We got Punisher in the house. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here. Guys, welcome. Guys, there's 23 of you guys in here. Please hit that like button if you don't mind. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for being here. We got the Nightmare in the house. Welcome. Thank you for being here, my friend. Welcome. Hey, Chris. All right, guys. So, wait, did I see? Oh, I saw he's saying Thomas Jones, but I didn't see Thomas Jones. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, so, guys. So, here we go. Kid Fisto. Again, like I told you guys years ago, here we are, right? They're just waiting for an opportunity. Another thing, this comes out of left field because we are, at least I'm expecting, what's his name? What the hell's his name? Grievous, right? We're expecting Grievous and Dooku. So what does that mean? May ends today, right? We ended the month with a bang, like I said we were going to. We got Kid Fisto. What does that mean? How long until we get Dooku and Grievous now? I'm going to assume probably next month at some point, right? I don't know if they're going to continue all of this Star Wars in June, still. Would it make sense? It is what it is. But I feel like after having an entire month of literally strictly Star Wars, I think they're going to take a break and start June with something else. But again, we know how Hot Toys is, and they do whatever they want, whenever they want. Brandon.
Yeah, we got buried this month, man. Like it's great, but it's also a little bit intimidating. I mean, we got how many drops? We got a grand total of what? 9, 10, 11, 12 drops this month. It was ridiculous. Yep. I mean, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love every second of it, but I can only imagine how many collectors are out there, like, eating ramen this week.
or selling their crosshairs for 900 and buying it for 100.
Hey, look out. The scalpers. Look out for the scalpers. They all have control. Ooh, the scalpers.
We got Jeff in the house. How are you, my friend? Let us know how you feel about the announcement. Tell us how you feel about the figure being made. Again, Bobby said 12.5 inches. So as we see here,
he's a beast.
32.5 centimeters tall. So massive figure, as you can see. We have the same add-on accessories that what's his name? Mace Windu comes with. Mace Windu comes with, right? So as you can see here. So Brandon, tell us how you feel about all this.
I'm excited, man. I've been excited. We were just talking about this backstage, but I've seen the Kit Fisto announcement, the RSVP, from before I started collecting. That's how long this guy's been sitting, behind the curtain, just chilling backstage. But I'm super, super looking forward to this one. I've actually got a custom project that I'm working on. I'm doing how do you say his name? The guy that did the 2003 Clone Wars, Tarkovsky. Anyways,
I don't know.
I want to do a Kit Fisto, like an underwater Kit Fisto. So I'm really anxious to see what that body looks like. I get it. We're not going to see him for a year, but I think he's a great figure. I think he's the fact that it's taken this long to get him is like wrong. But
years, right?
Super excited, man. I mean, I get it because number one, that's not just a head sculpt, bro. Like that's a head project. You know what I mean? All the tentacles
Correct.
and everything else. I can only imagine what they went through to sculpt and the eyes, all those things. It's so exciting, man. I'm excited for Kit Fisto. I feel like he didn't really get an opportunity to shine in the movies, so at least we got to see more of him in the animated series.
So that was one thing that happened. He was taken out immediately. He lasted literally a second, right? Like you would see him. Yep. What movies was he in? Was he in the first, second, and third?
No. I think he was in for a grand total of 24 seconds in the third movie.
But was he in the second one then? I remember seeing him walking around in one of the movies, only the third.
Oh, you know what? He might have been in a short scene in the second one, but
That's what I'm
I don't
thinking.
think so.
That's what I'm thinking. If anybody
Yeah.
in the chat knows or remembers, please let me know how long he was in either movie or any movie, because like I said, I feel like I remember seeing him in the second movie and then obviously in the third.
Right.
Let me know. Thule, how are you, my friend? Welcome. Thank you for being here. Let's see who else. Nightmare says the Hot Toys Dark Side event is April 27th to June 2nd. We can okay, so there you go. So we can still have maybe something next week. I mean, think about it though. Today's Friday. Tomorrow will be the first, Saturday, second, Sunday, right? So I doubt we're getting anything. Maybe Monday, maybe, but we'll see. We'll see when that gets here.
I gotta be honest, man. I'm gonna be shocked if we get anything else. We've gotten so many figures this month. Like, wow.
Well, they're not done. I can tell you they're not done. Are they done with Star Wars for the moment? Maybe.
Oh, sure. For the moment,
right?
maybe.
Right? Because again, where's Dooku? Where's Grievous? Where's everything else?
Battle of Geonosis. TK's right. At the
on.
end of the second movie, he popped up.
I hope they do the rest of the. I think Plo Koon was already shown in the Acolyte teaser, I believe. So it's only a matter of time. Now, are they going to make it from the Acolyte? Who knows? They didn't make anything from Andor. They haven't made literally anything from that show. So do we expect anything from every show? No, right?
Right.
Doesn't mean that they can't be working on a Andor figure at the moment and then release it later on. Right? It could happen.
Right.
But because it hasn't, I'm going to say no.
Now, I think that we're going to. I think we're actually like I'm on board with people saying Plo Koon, and I think I even saw somebody mention Kiadi Moody. I think we're going to see more, and I think they're telegraphing that when we got the Van braces with Kit Fisto. And I mean, we know that we're getting them with Mace. I have a feeling they're gearing up to kind of reuse more of those parts. So I feel like we're going to see more, just like TK saying. I think we're going to see more Jedi Council members in the near future.
Well, like I said, the fact that Plo Koon appears, next at some point, he's inevitable, right?
Yeah, they're also teasing him on the Acolyte too. So
that's what I said. That's what I'm saying. I saw the teaser of him in the Acolyte, so that's why I figured, is he coming from the show? Who knows? I don't think so. Again, they can make it, but because we didn't get anything from Andor, and it doesn't mean that Andor is a bigger character than Kit Fisto, because I don't think so, right? I don't believe so. So maybe that's why. Even though people would have lost their minds over an Andor figure due to the fact that we didn't get one from a Rogue One. So, I'm going to show you guys something real quick. Let me catch up. Clayton Martin, how are you, my friend? Thank you for being here. Welcome. Let me catch up with you guys. Yeah, he was in the Attack of the Clones at the back. Exactly. So I remember that. I remember seeing him twice. And that's why I remember, like, I believe in the second one, he didn't really do much as far as I remember, or if I remember him fighting or anything. But I remember when he was fighting, that's when he got killed. So that must be from the third one. The second one, I remember seeing him. I don't remember exactly how I saw him, but I remember seeing him. Kit was in episode 2. There you go. Perfect. He was in Attack of the Clones. Fisto used the Force to put. There you go. So he was in there. Perfect. I just wanted to make sure that, because I remember that. Go ahead.
I know my wife is watching right now, so I'm going to throw this out there. Wifey, prepare. It's time for another run through all the Star Wars movies.
He
so
said prepare.
Just prepare. I'm sorry in advance, but get ready.
He said prepare. I still need a Hu Yang. Yeah, well, that's a droid. That's coming at some point eventually. But it looks like the Ahsoka line's already done, so I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it's not looking good. But again, can they do it? Of course. Make the entire Jedi Council. I think they're going to eventually. At some point, it'll be fully completed, right? Kiadi Mundi is, again, at some point. Right now, we haven't really seen much of him besides in the movies, right? So there's no reason to have that conversation about him yet.
You know how I would like to see a Kiadi Mundi figure, though?
Question for you. Go ahead.
So they do this with Black Series, and obviously, those are just all plastic molded figures. So I imagine it'd be harder. But I would love to see a hologram version, because Kiadi Mundi is like, there's not a ton to him. You know what I mean? Like, he's not like super laced. He might have been big in the comic books and stuff, but he wasn't in film and in the Clone Wars shows and things like that. So yeah, he appeared from time to time. I'd love to see him as a hologram. not the little accessory, but like a full figure, but in that hologram style, because you see him a couple of times in the movies when they do the Jedi Council scenes, how
Yes.
he's like phoning in. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So I think that would be cool.
So you're saying there's no chance for the figure, or you're saying you would rather a
I would
holographic
rather.
figure?
Yeah, I would rather, because it
why
hasn't been
not the
done
figure?
before. I think it'd be
Why
cool.
Why not the figure with the hologram as an accessory?
Because he's just not. He's like there's not a lot to him. Like he's not woven through the stories. Like with Plo Koon is anchored into the story because
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're
he was
saying.
attached to Ahsoka. You know what I mean? So it's like all these characters are woven into the Star Wars fabric. I never really felt that way about Ki-Adi-Mundi. The most emotional attachment you get to that character is when you see him get schwacked on it wasn't Felicia, it was on
This guy.
yeah, when he was leading the Galactic Marines, right? And it's like, okay, you saw him for 14 seconds there, and it's like, oh yeah, it was devastating. But the only reason losing him was devastating was because it was part of Order 66, and you were watching all the other Jedi get taken out. You know what I mean? He was part of that vignette, part of that montage at the end of the film. So like that's the most attachment that really anybody has to him. You know what I mean? And call me wrong if you're going to tell me that he had his own Star Wars comic book and he has this great and detailed story arc and all these stories, then I'll have a Coke and a smile and I'll back off. But I just feel like he's not really like he's a fixture rather than a focal point.
So you're saying he's not even an important character to be made, even though he's a Jedi?
Right. It's like I feel like, I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong, he would look great on the shelf.
Of course,
okay, he would look great in your display, but he's not the center point of your display. He's more just like a background fixture.
Gotcha,
and you could kind of say the same thing about Kit Fisto, but Kit Fisto, there was a little bit more to him. And maybe a lot of the mythos from Kit Fisto comes from the 2003 series, the micro series that we had, where you see him like he swims like he's the one with a lightsaber underwater when you know that you can't take a lightsaber underwater. You know what I mean? He has a lightsaber underwater that works. He has an entire battalion of clone troopers that are made to scuba and like go underwater. Like they're fighting on Camino in the water. Like there's a lot there to work with. And I just feel like Ki-Adi-Mundi was one of those characters that just didn't have a whole lot to do with anything.
Well, that makes sense. That makes sense because, like I said, before you even said any of this, Ki-Adi-Mundi is not a character, again, besides the movies. And my question to you was, has he appeared in the Clone Wars? You said no before I was even, before I even asked the question. So that's where I was headed. So the reason why I was going to ask you that was this. Is if you pay attention, we got Mace Windu with two different looks. And we got now Kit Fisto with two different looks from two different places, right? We got regular movie and then we got Clone Wars. So my question was, all right, did Ki-Adi-Mundi appear in the Clone Wars? Obviously you said no. So then that's another reason why it doesn't make sense for them to even have that conversation of Ki-Adi-Mundi right now, right?
Right now,
That's why I said Plo Koon will most likely appear and be made and be teased way before Ki-Adi-Mundi. Just because
I think so too.
Sense. Clinton says, do you think they're actually announcing figures for release next year for the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith, instead of announcing during the anniversary and releasing the year after? What do you think?
That's the most logical comment that I've parsed that I've heard on this whole subject, because the argument is constantly over the last month really that we've been getting all these drops is everybody's going, look, we're approaching the 20th anniversary of what is it, Phantom Menace, I think. So why aren't we getting more Phantom Menace characters? And it's like, well, we got a new Darth Maul that's coming, but this makes sense because if the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith, or if there's a milestone anniversary of Revenge of the Sith coming up, then that would make sense that these characters will actually be available in shipping when that anniversary starts hitting. I can see that being a thing, We
got 03 Mills in the house. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for welcome. Yaddle would break the internet. This guy. The Thor, how are you, my friend? Welcome.
I'm doing
being here, my friend. Tika says Zapko, Ki-Adi-Mundi. Wrong. Every Jedi counts. Where's Wilco? Brandon, stop. You look cool. Never mind. And look at that. Member for 4 months. That is great, my friend. Thank you as always. And this is for you. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you as always. So guys, I want to show you the comparison of what he looked like when he was teased, and just to show you a couple differences. I don't know if you guys can notice the differences, but let me pull up this version here. There we go. All right, so here we go. So this is the one picture that Hot Toys showed during their showcase, whenever this was. I forget what year.
2016, 2004.
Yeah. I was gonna say like 2018, maybe even 2017. I mean, I don't
think it was
that
2017, man.
It could be 20.
I really do.
I wouldn't say 2018, but it could be 2017, right? So here it is. As you can see, I mean, if you want to compare them, obviously the colors here are more vibrant, right? They're more vivid, as you can see.
Detailed.
You can see more yellow, correct? You see more yellow. The only reason why this is happening, just so you guys don't think, oh, you know, they changed them, they did this, they did that. No, what's happening here is obviously this is years old.
Yeah.
Right. This was the very first prototype, I'm going to assume. The paint application, obviously, it's not going to be the same as this was years ago. It's obviously going to, hopefully, you would think that from, you know, something 7 years ago, it would be updated. It would be more accurate, right? So this is where you get all of the detail now, more yellowing, more spotting, as you can see. Also, don't forget, during a photo shoot, the quality of the images are going to be way better than somebody's image far away. So you're not capturing. Go ahead.
I was going to say, like, one thing that I think we're overlooking is look at the structure of the orbital sockets, the orbital bone around his eyes. Like, it's much more pronounced than it is in this one. And I think that's kind of interesting too, because when I look at this one, especially head on, like this one, his eyes are smaller, but here it's like he's staring into your soul. Like, that is a look. And this one, I think, is a little bit blasé in that regard. So I like the bone structure details a little bit more on the older one. But I'll tell you, when you flip back to this one, yeah, like those eyes are looking beyond whatever you're capable of seeing. I love it. I think it's great.
Like some type of sea monster kind of scale.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And here, but if you guys pay attention, they changed the head sculpt. They changed the head sculpt a lot. Look at what Brandon just pointed out. Just look at this alone. Look at this texture here, and look at it here. Totally smooth, totally perfect. So they definitely tweaked it. Also, look at the mouth. Look at the teeth here, kind of like sticking out, and look at here.
Yeah, much more recessed.
Exactly. They're not so exposed. So they changed a few things on the figure. Again, I would hope so after at least 7 years of this thing being around. Look how clean and neat the outfit looks compared to here. Look how wrinkled this is. I don't know why this looks so beat up and so, you know, so not nice, but here it is. Look how gorgeous, look how clean. Again, I don't know if it makes sense for it to have him so clean, but again, he only lasted 2 seconds in the fight. So who cares, right? Brandon, what is the one thing that is the most appealing to you about the figure? Also, guys, the braids, for those who don't know any Predator figures by Hot Toys, it brought me right back to those Predator figures with these long braids. Remember, I don't know who has it, but they were rubberized. They were very, very like cheap feeling. But this brings me right back. Again, I don't know, you know, what material this is. Obviously this is sculpted, so I'm assuming it's a hard plastic. I doubt this is going to move around. But here they mentioned detailed recreation of the tentacles tresses. So again, it looks like it's sculpted. I don't think it's going to be movable like the Predator braids. But Brandon, what do you think?
I love it, man. My immediate concern is that you're not going to be able to land a lot of those more subtle poses where the angle of the eyes or the angle of the face really communicates the pose. I think we're not going to be able to get those types of subtle poses simply because we just won't have the mobility and flexibility in the neck to go in those different directions. But all in all, I think you know, it's a wonderful head sculpt. It's a character that everybody wanted. One thing, if you want to flip back to the picture that's a little bit closer up, one thing that I really appreciate about this head sculpt is if you look in between his tresses and you see that the skin is a little bit more pinkish there, almost as if it's more sensitive. I think that's a great way to highlight You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. That's a great way to highlight. It's a great detail to add. It really brings the character to life. I mean, also, it almost looks like, he has a touch of epicanthic fold there at the top of his eyes as well. So, I mean, there's a lot of really small detail that I think makes this character pop quite a bit. And while we won't be able to get the most amazing poses out of him, I mean, he carries shelf presence just by the look alone. This is a figure that I think could absolutely command a museum pose if you're that kind of guy. We know that only, the real collectors don't do museum poses, but no, this one can absolutely pull off a museum pose just because there's so much subtle detail to him. The only thing
How dare you?
But like the only thing I haven't seen is like a close up of the mouth. And granted, I haven't gone through all the pictures that they dropped, but I'm interested to see whether or not his teeth are serrated. It almost looks like they are, doesn't it? Oh no, they look like just a little uneven.
Correct, a little uneven, right?
Yeah, but I think even in the sideshow fig, I've got a head just sitting over there waiting to be finished. But yeah, like his teeth were pretty serrated before on previous editions and stuff. So it's great. There's nothing there. It's funny because sometimes you'll get something that kind of ruins. I don't want to say ruins, but you'll get something that kind of detracts from the head sculpt quite a bit on figures. They drop and you're going, why exactly did they do that? Right. Like, for example, with the new Anakin Skywalker that's coming, it's that half grin that he has. It's a great head sculpt. The hair, even the sculpted hair is wonderful, but that fact that he's got like this half grin, like the sad clown grin on his face, kind of detracts from the presence of it. But I don't see a whole lot of that here. I feel like it's really perfectly balanced. Even the eyes, which are a dominating feature for this character, even the eyes are done so well as to not dominate the head sculpt in of itself.
Staring at the eyes is kind of scary. Like if you look at it, like this thing is demonic, 100%. We got Mitchell,
Get out of here.
We got Mitchell Lawrence in the house. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here.
I'm doing.
So for anybody that doesn't know, in regards to Mitchell's comment here, for anybody that doesn't know, that move, and this might have been retconned a little bit once we start getting backlash from fans, but George Lucas has said that attack that Sidious does from behind the desk into the middle of the Jedi and the scream that goes with it is a dark side force ability. So technically speaking, it's not unreasonable that Sidious would have popped into the middle of these four guys and schwacked two of them right out of the gate. You know what I mean? So it's like we can't really come down on Kit Fisto over this because he was the victim of this super intense dark side, attack. So,
but I feel like as a Jedi, like, isn't that like a cop out? You know what I mean? Like, oh, he's a victim.
Yeah,
he's a Jedi,
well, to a degree, because there are different types. Like if you read some of the older, I haven't read any of the new Disney Star Wars books, but if you read some of the older Star Wars books, from 20 and 30 years ago, they describe like Luke Skywalker, Qui-Gon Jinn, even Obi-Wan Kenobi has scenes where they describe these lightsaber duels as almost as if everything, to the Jedi at least, everything is moving in slow motion. Okay, they're able to think through every move. They can almost project in the future and see what their enemy is going to do and how best to counter it. And that's why lightsaber duels are so intense, because they have this ability to effectively, in their own mind, slow down time. So I think that it lends more power. If you want to choke down the whole Sidious's dark side shout, spinning, torpedo, Major Bison move, then you can kind of allow it, because you got to keep in mind too that this guy is, as far as Sith Lords go, like he's up there. Sidious, I mean, you want to look through his entire character arc, you can see he accomplished a lot of shit. So I almost want to allow it that, it was a little bit janky. The way it was retconned is a little bit fruity, but I think it works. We can let that one pass.
The Thor says he looks like someone who used to stream with you, Fabs.
I don't know who he's talking about, but I love it.
No, me neither. Chris, how are you, my friend? Welcome.
I'm doing.
Hey, my friend, you made it. Got for sure. Yeah, guys, did anybody pre-order him yet? So another thing I wanted to point out is, number one, price, $275, not bad at all. Another thing, why did it take so long to make this figure? Whose permission of likeness did they need? Nobody. So again, why did they do it now? Because it fits, right? We got Mace Windu now. Everything fits. So now expect more Jedis because it fits. You know what I mean? Now that they started with something, they're just going to continue. It's just the moment they do the one, get ready for the rest. Example, C-3PO. Example, R2. The moment they make one mold, boom, it's done. Obviously, this is not a mold, but you're getting a set of characters, which are the Jedi. Let me see. This was, yeah. So anybody pre-order this yet? Because I pre-ordered mine already on Sideshow, obviously. Because I feel like just like Mace.
Because you hate me. That's why. Because you hate me.
Well, I didn't
Brandon takes pre-orders, but I'm going to go with Sideshow.
I didn't even know you were getting them. Why didn't you tell me?
Bro, if it's Star Wars, I have it. What kind of question is this?
All right, so it looks like I'm canceling. Sorry.
Okay, good. I hope you lose your deposit too.
It's within 24 hours, so I'll get it back.
There you go.
We got let's see. This was the day for. I know it's a dark side ability.
Mitchell wants to fight. Let's go, bro.
But he's a Jedi. Can't. No, well, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I said. It's like if you're a Jedi, like obviously, you know, if you're gonna die, you're gonna die, right? But if you're a Jedi, like at least put up a fight is my point. You know what I mean? Like the way he went was like, what is the point of you being a Jedi? You know what I mean? So that's the only. But again, it is what it is. Jedi fight stances are different and chosen right go a long way. Oh, I see what you're saying. The figure.
I'm just gonna say that Thor knows what he's talking about. We'll go on to the next comment.
OBS on the George Lucas thing. See, they're coming for you, Brandon.
Yeah, no, I know it. You know what's funny is that, like I said, I'm confident this was just retconned. You know, because George Lucas. I mean, look. Thank you, George Lucas, for Star Wars. Thank you for suffering through the first two movies the way that you did in order to make it happen. Brilliant man with the merchandising rights. Amazing. He can write great stories. I'll give him that too. He's a shit director. That's just it. I'm sorry. But it's the truth. Honestly, Hayden Christensen, we love Hayden Christensen. We're sorry we made him feel like we hated him for whatever reason. Okay, but the guy delivered lines poorly, not because he was a bad actor, but because he had bad direction. Okay, I think George Lucas should absolutely be there to make sure everybody understands the ultra nerd level of everything that we're doing at all times. I'm the same way about my own stories. I will talk and explain every tiny delicate nuance, but somebody else has to be behind the camera. Somebody else has to be cutting the film. It's just the way it is.
Also, guys, one thing I want to point out, the articulation, they're not showing you much at all. Like literally nothing. Like mostly hands. As you can see, most of these pictures are from the top half up. So if you look, see another one top, another one top, another one top, another one top, another one top. So I don't know what they expect you to do for this, you know, with this figure when it comes to articulation, but it looks like this is it because every picture showing articulation is that same pose. Here's one right here. There it is.
Yeah, I hadn't noticed that.
Yeah, they're not showing you any movements whatsoever. Here's another one, same exact pose. Here's another one, same exact pose. Here's another one. So, and again, it goes back to half a picture, half an image, half an image. So, I don't know. Again, you guys know how you're going to display this. It doesn't show you that it's a very, again, I don't know if it should. I don't know why you would have them as an, you know, articulated like a ninja, but they're showing you very, very minimal posing. So it looks like it's going to be a very, very, what do you call it? Basic figure to pose, right? Meaning they don't expect you at least to do it crazy with it unless
no dynamic stand with this one.
Right. They just give you a plain regular. Exactly. And look, this is how they use the base, which is kind of like crazy.
Yeah. The step up.
Look at the, what? You know what I mean? Again, it's an MMS.
But here's the other thing too, Fab. This fig is almost 13 inches tall. This is a huge figure.
12.8.
So yeah, so you know, I kind of get it. I really want to see the body on this one bad, man. I was hoping that we were going to get a look up the sleeve or something. Even if we could see a wrist peg, that would tell us more or less what color the body is. I'm really hoping for a green body.
No, never.
I know.
Are you crazy? But a little bit of
zoom in.
I can't on here. I'll do it over here. Let me see. See, nothing here. Nothing here. There it is. The peg is green at least.
Dude.
Right there.
Dude. We might get a green body.
Absolutely never.
You don't think so?
Why would you waste money? So me, I'm Hot Toys. why would I waste money, whether it's painting or rubberizing a body that you're not going to see anyway? You know what I mean? That's why I would never, again, if it was my company, I would never spend a penny on something that you're not going to see. And even if you remove the original, the first robe, let me see if they show them without.
Oh, wait. Go back. 2, 3.
Where?
Right there. No, we can't see a whole lot there,
you
can
can't
we?
see.
No, that's the inner tunic. Okay.
Correct. Yeah, right here. Yep. Let me show. So see, even without. Oh, look, it does look green. It is. So at least as of right now, it may be green, but I don't know. It could be lighting.
That looks green.
Yeah, it looks green. Yep. So it looks like it's green, guys. At least from the pictures, it could be just lighting. Who knows? But as of right now, the peg is matching the paint right here. So we may have a painted. At least the arms, should be painted. I don't think anything else matters, but definitely at least the arms up to the elbow should be painted. Again, you don't really see it, so it doesn't really matter, right? But just to make the figure look uniform, look legit, I feel like that's why you would do something like that. Mitchell says, Rudy, Yoda has a green body. Well, yeah, but think about it. Yoda, for Hot Toys to make a Yoda this big and painting a body is not the same as having to paint a body like this. So it's a completely different world. So I'm not saying that Hot Toys never does that. What I'm saying is it doesn't make sense to paint an entire body if the figure is the body's going to be hidden from being shown.
The Yoda body though isn't painted. Like it's not painted green. It's injected green. Like it's green plastic. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not like they're painting it. I think they're just using a different mix on the plastic. So
okay, yeah, no, I thought it was painted because the whole.
I will fight you, Fabs.
Well, no, I don't know. I'm just saying. I thought it was, why would I think that they would do something different, besides painting the figure? You know what I mean? So I always assume it's just paint. But dude, that's why the body.
This is kind of exciting. This is kind of exciting, man. Because I mean, if you can get past the seams, you know what I mean? Like if you take apart a Kylo Ren, for example, I think it's the Force Awakens and Rise of Skywalker Kylo Ren. The bodies are both black. But because like they wanted to fill out the clothing without using a fat suit, they used like a rubberized rubberized material over the chest. Okay, and it's actually textured. It has nipples and hair on it. Funny enough, like not real hair, obviously, but like textured hair and stuff on it. It's almost like it's a bare chest. So it would be cool if we get something like that with him because people are going to want like. I mean, I'm a mad lad, so I've already got one in progress with a Fisto body, but. That 2003 look from when he's underwater in the ripped shorts with his lightsaber is a great look. And if we can use that body to do that, I think it's going to be value added. So this is exciting.
Mitchell says, so do you think this is confirmation that we're getting all the council members? So like I always say never. It's only a matter of time, period. It's that simple. It's always going to be, right? So it can, just like Kid Fisto, took about at least 6 to 7 years to be made after being teased that long ago. It's always a possibility. And that's why I always say that because that's how Hot Toys works and operates.
And it's just like what you said earlier. It's like they're telegraphing, exactly this project with the inclusion of the Clone Wars braces, the fan braces.
Exactly.
So I think it's definitely a possibility that we're going to see more of these. Think about Yaddle. Yaddle would be super easy to produce simply because they've already got the mold with Yoda. You'd use the same body. You would even use the same feet. They might have to be painted a little bit differently.
Correct.
But it's essentially the same figure. All you're doing is cranking out a new head sculpt. So I think it's totally possible, bro. Can you imagine if by the end of the year we had announcements and we had the entire council? That'd be awesome. I
don't think it's going to happen within a year. I can tell you that. But the fact that we already have 2, that's they're not going to stop at 2. They're not going to stop at 3. That's Hot Toys for you. Especially knowing, number one, how well Mace Window's doing right now. Number 2, I can guarantee you the pre-orders for this guy are insane right now. Okay, so that's why they're going to make all of them. Okay, again, don't think it's going to happen this year. Can it? Absolutely. But again, I'm not saying it's going to. It may take years, may take 10 years, may take 8 years, but eventually we will have every single one. The problem is, are we all going to be around collecting, when that happens? That's the only problem. Nightmare says, fight.
Hey, where'd they get that video of me and you?
Me and you.
That was when I had my hair super short.
Super short. Mr. The council boo. No, again, eventually, Fabs was the Evan Van Fisto.
he puts a fist in Fisto.
so now, Brandon.
Yes,
seeing
Fabio.
the articulation, see how it's very basic, seeing how it's literally, nothing crazy, nothing, oh my God. Pretty much the entire figure is the hands and the head. Besides that, you could use that entire body for any single Jedi, period. Right? So how does the price point sit with you regarding, that it's literally a head sculpt and hands?
I'll allow it. I'll allow it simply because it's got to be a bigger body. I mean, obviously, it's a bigger body than what the standard one is. I see a lot of times when they, like when you have a Kylo Ren and they need to make him a little bit taller, they'll just lengthen the ankle pegs. So your ankle peg is like 2.5 times what the size that it normally is. I don't think we're going to get that out of this. I think this is going to be more a Vader style body where it's the entire body is larger in frame.
And the good thing that helps them is the boots being so tall.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Exactly. So because the other bit of that is that if they didn't do it that way, if they did try to make him taller with just ankle peg extensions, you're going to have an unstable foot. That's why I don't think that we're looking at extensions here. I think we're looking at a larger body all the way around.
I think
I'll allow it. The price point I think is good to go, especially with there's a lot to that head sculpt, man. Like, I mean, can you even call it a head sculpt? It's like there's a lot of gear there. There's a lot to unpack.
Exactly. It's a big head too because of the what do you call it? Because of everything else, the tentacles and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the scale, and they got to match the scale. They got to match the body to the scale of the head and everything else. So, I think it's a reasonable price point. I mean, we're seeing the prices go up over the last couple of years, which I guess is to be expected. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely setting aside 2 of these. I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, I mean, I'm only going to have one for my personal collection. So my wife is watching. No, I think there's a lot that you can do with this fig. I really like that. On the sideshow version, like the tunic and the under the under tunic as well, they've got like a pinkish shade to them, which I was never a fan of. I don't know if it's just faded. Everyone, because it's like a 20-year-old figure, so I don't know if every one that I've ever seen it was just faded, but it looks very pink, and I like that they were able to kind of recreate that pinkish tint.
Yes.
To the tunic, but they didn't go with pink. You know what I mean? So I really like that about it. We're getting different shades of Jedi outfits as well, which is great for what I do. If you're looking for Jedi outfits, I'm going to be the guy.
Hey, that's perfect for you because they're not exactly the same,
I'm going to sit up here a little bit so people can see me.
Bob says, I think a better bet is another character that shares space in the Clone Wars space. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So if this is how they're continuing, and especially adding these attachments to the figures, to be able to have the 2 looks, right? The Clone Wars look and the movie look. Whatever Jedi Council member appears in the Clone Wars will most likely be next. Like I said, Plo Koon is teased in the Acolyte TV series coming up on the Disney show. And so, again, doesn't mean that he's going to be made from Acolyte, but the fact that he's being shown tells you something. Right? They're just go ahead.
When does the Acolyte drop? Is that a next week thing? I feel like that's a next week thing.
June something. Yep.
Yeah, did you see that they're already trying to do damage control on that?
Meaning what?
So Kathleen Kennedy and the producer, gosh, I don't remember her name, but Kathleen Kennedy and the producer are already saying that we're expecting this isn't verbatim, but I just kind of read through the frame, but it's like, if we're gonna see hate for the Acolyte, if the Acolyte's a failure, it's because the male Star Wars fan base is just toxic and blah. I'm like, my gosh, are we really starting this already?
Now I'm really not watching. Now I'm really not watching.
I was not watching before, but I'm gonna not watch so much harder.
Oh man, I'm watching. I'm not watching so hard right now because no, like, why do these women do that? Like, they got to put people down or things down or bring things down or always demonize something to make their stuff better or make it look better.
Yeah.
The moment
You know what? I
anybody does
actually,
that- go ahead.
I wanna read something, and I read this out to my wife because we were kind of talking about this subject earlier today.
Wait, before you
Hey,
continue,
hey,
before you continue.
move that graphic. I feel like I'm drowning under the graphic. You're
That's what
killing
I'm
me.
saying. No, that's what I'm saying. Before you continue, let everybody know who the entire Jedi Council is, because I can tell you, Bob is saying that everybody knows it. So go ahead.
Okay, so let's see. Let me think here. I'm gonna need a second. Let me see if I can remember. We know Anakin wasn't on it. That's for sure. No, we got Obi-Wan was on it. So it was Yoda, Obi-Wan, Mace, Yaddle, Ki-Adi-Mundi, Plo Koon, obviously.
Right.
Ethkoth was there. Jocasta Nu, I believe, was on the Jedi Council, but we never saw her in the council chamber. I think there's 2 or 3 more, and I can't recall them. Let me.
Yeah, you could Google it. Google it while I read.
Yeah. Okay. Yarael Poof and Polydepatian.
So that's where
I guess we had an Armenian on the.
Well, so that's where it gets tricky. Cool. That's where it gets tricky, because how many of those are in the Clone Wars actually?
Some of the, quite a few of them are.
Well, that's the thing. So this is where I'm going. So I don't.
There was a little one too with the one eye. I can't remember his name.
So
he used to wear an eye patch.
I don't recognize a lot of those names you mentioned, so I don't know them all, right? So
the most common ones, I mean, we all know. Yeah, Sacy Tin was on the council before he got whacked out. Yeah, I mean, your ultimate Star Wars nerds are going to know who a lot of those are. I consider myself in that cast, and I still don't know who 2 of these guys are.
That's what I'm saying. So where I'm going with this is this. If right now, again, Mace Windu, just from pattern, period. Forget the movies, forget everything. Just from pattern, Hot Toys pattern. Mace Windu, Clone Wars accessories. Kit Fisto, Clone Wars accessories. Right? So are they all coming? Can they? Absolutely. The thing is this. Popularity-wise, like I mentioned, I don't recognize a lot of them. Obviously, a lot of Star Wars fans may recognize all of them or may know all of them.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is, again, for those who don't know all of them, are the ones that are not so popular going to be appealing to your not so balls deep collector or not so big Star Wars fan?
No, I don't think. I don't know, man. Here's the thing. If you want completionism, if you want the entire Jedi Council, you're stuck with Black Series. That's just the way it is, because those figures are cheap to produce. And I mean, you're going to get the people, like they had me completely hook, line, and sinker 100%. They put out low quality bait and I devoured it simply because I had Captain Rex and I had Commander Cody. And it's like, yeah, these guys are great together. And it's like, well, wait, why don't I have Commander Gree? Okay, well, hold on. You know, there are these other generals too. And oh, okay, well, wait, if I'm going to have these figures, then I should have this one and this one too. And then before I knew it, man, I was looking at a collection of 325 Black Series figures. And I'm like, I don't even love 80% of these. I only had them because I had to have them to go with the other ones. And I think that if that's what you're looking for, you're buying Hot Toys, you're in the wrong game. Not because, you know, it's not that they're so expensive that nobody would spend the money. I think it's just, you know, Hot Toys is a step above. I mean, we talk about real clothing. We talk about artists sculpting real heads. We're not talking about mass produced, you know, mold injected plastic. I mean,
yeah, no. So I think reading Mitchell's comment here, says, changing topic. Do you think Hot Toys will release updated Predators figures as it's the 20th anniversary of AVP Alien vs. Predator this year?
We'll find out tomorrow.
Well, so here's the thing.
Not in May, buddy.
So here's the thing. And I don't know if you've watched me ever before, but I will always say this because it's a fact. Hot Toys will always make IPs like Terminator, Predator, Back to the Future, Aliens. So all those big deal properties, all those big deal franchises will always make Hot Toys money. So just like out of left field, after not getting a single Predator for years, the moment that movie Prey came out, again, for those who watch, I said that Predator is coming. I don't care what anybody thinks, that is coming. And here we are. It's out for pre-order for months already. So can they? Absolutely. Now, is it going to make sense for them to make a one figure just for the anniversary? Who knows, right? So the only thing is this: once they start going with a figure, it's not only going to be one, right? They don't just make a single figure from a movie, again, depending on what it is, right? For example, look at Ripley, right? From Aliens. They've made her plenty of times with Aliens as well, right? So they never just make one figure, again, depending on the movie. So that's the only doubt that I have regarding this comment is, would it make sense for them to make a single alien? And out of all of the aliens that they have to choose from, right? All the options that they have, because I have every single alien, or at least the most updated ones and some of the original kits that they made. Are they just going to make a single one and that's it? All right, here's the celebration anniversary piece for AVP. Here's one. Which one would you like them to make? Because that would be a better question. If they were to make one figure, what would you like? The one popular figure that they've made from AVP has always been the Elder Predator, right? We have Elder Predator regular from I forget what movie, and then we have a 2.0, right? So they've made the Elder twice. Obviously, every other Predator has its own name, right? You got Classic, you got Falconer, you got Shadow, you got Berserker, you got all these different Predators. Which one are they going to make? So that's that would be the real question to me, right? It's like all right, you got tons of Predator choices. What are you making for your celebration if you even decide to do that? Again, they will always make them because it's easy money in their pocket. And who doesn't love Predators? Who doesn't love aliens? Who doesn't love all that stuff? So that's why they always will. Again, what are they going to make? Who knows? But if it's a possibility from a celebration anniversary, absolutely. Bob says, I still like an old man Rex too. Albert, how are you, my friend? Welcome. Let me say hello to Albert since he's never here.
I'm doing.
Uncarded says they're definitely making an Ayla Sakura figure using Hera. But there you go. So I don't even know who that is, but you probably put that together. Makes sense.
How do you not know who Ayla Sakura is? How do you not know this, Fabs?
I have to see.
Bro. I don't know if we can keep being friends, man. You're killing me.
Oh, wait, you're talking about...
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
I apologize. I don't remember her right now. But, yeah. Brandon. All right, so last but not least, okay? So, knowing how Mace Windu is doing right now, which he's on fire, what do you think this is? How do you think this is going to do?
I think he's hitting hard. I think he's already hitting hard. I've been, obviously because of what I do, I'm firmly wired into all the groups. I actively and regularly participate in easily 20 groups. And the first thing that I see is everybody going wild over, oh my gosh, Kit Fisto. So I think, I think it's already hitting hard. I had to get my order in early because I was a little bit concerned that, I might not be able to get the quantity that I wanted to get. So luckily that wasn't the case. So I got a pretty decent allocation of these. Mm-hmm. What I will tell everybody, which, doesn't work out to my benefit. It works out to my benefit if you wait until the figure goes waitlisted, because then the markup hits. But I'll tell everybody now, get your pre-orders in early. Again, we are beyond the days of seeing figures being in stock where you can just go to Sideshow and make your buy.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So if you want the figure, okay, and you don't want to pay the markup, get your order in now, because I'll honor the price that it's listing at right now. And if the price I give you isn't as good as, like if tax is different in your state, because I base all my tax off of my sales tax off of 10%, because that's what it is here in California. So I'll match your shopping cart if you got a better price through Sideshow. But man, I'll tell you, the instant that figure goes waitlist, there's a bump. If it goes waitlist full, there's a big bump. and people pay it, man. People pay it all day long. And then, you have your, random little people with loud voices talking about scalper this and scalper that.
Well, no, and that's funny
Which,
that you bring that up because to call anybody a scalper at this point in the game, like, it's stupid.
Mhm.
And number two,
you just don't know, man. That's it.
Well, no, it's always gonna happen. It's always gonna happen, and it's always gonna come from the butthurt one. So
Sure.
my thing is this: what about so can you find it on your website? Is it up for pre-order on your website?
I don't do pre-orders on the site. I will be doing pre-orders down the road on the site,
Gotcha.
but send me a message on Facebook. You guys know how to get a hold of me. The Facebook page. If you don't have my, if we're not friends on Facebook and you need to find me, search for the Zapco Scrapyard on Facebook. It's facebook.com/Zapco.
Type it in the chat.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and or it kills links, so I'm going to type it in with a couple of spaces. But reach out to me. I'll take your pre-order. We use PayPal invoices to keep track of everything. It's super simple.
Another thing, guys, for those talking about price going up, Toys for Kiddles is a retailer. For those who don't know, okay, it's a retailer, not a reseller like everybody else. They're a retailer. Their prices shoot up like crazy when something is hot. Look at Mace Windu right now, going for $381 over there. Okay, so I said to him, how come your prices are so high? I asked him about Mace, and I asked him about the Spider-Man. His Spider-Man Deluxe is 500 and change right now.
Mm-hmm.
I said, how is that? I said, how? He goes, I post my figures according to the demand of. He's in Hong Kong. So depending on how hot the figures are, that's what I price them at. Obviously, it's not going to look good for you guys when you have Sideshow there. But the problem is Sideshow doesn't fulfill everything anymore because it goes waitlisted and you guys are asked out. So that's when he comes in and tries to make that money because of the demand. But it's not that he's a scalper. It's just he is in Hong Kong. So he's not trying to give us prices in the U.S., right? He's selling them overseas. Whatever that translates to dollars.
Yeah, it's totally up to us.
That's how it affects us, correct? So it affects us in that way. But he's not trying to, all of a sudden make more money on certain figures. It looks that way to us, but he only makes, he only increases those prices according to the demand over there, the hype over there, and how much they're selling over there. Obviously, you could always pay attention to the website and see, all right, well, now it's sitting at, for example, Mace Windu. It's sitting now at 381. So what's happening? So people are either trying to find him lower or the hype died down for whatever reason. You know what I mean? So always be aware of that because it doesn't mean that, he's just trying to rip people off. No, that's what he's dealing with over there, overseas in Hong Kong. What were you saying, Brandon?
Yeah, and I was just going to reiterate, at the end of the day, we live in a capitalist society.
No, Brandon, it didn't go. Text it to me, type it in the private chat, and I'll share it because it's not.
Okay. I was just saying that at the end of the day, sorry, there we go. At the end of the day, man, we live in a capitalist society. A thing is worth whatever somebody is willing to pay for it. So it's like if you have, a set of the community that doesn't want to get in on it because they don't want to pay the markup, that's okay. There's nobody's coming down on people to say, well, you should be willing to pay more. We're not saying that. Nobody's ever saying that. Okay, but if you're going to spend $900 on Crosshair, for example, that $900 for Crosshair to one collector isn't the same $900 to somebody else. You know what I mean? So that's just how the system works. It's simple supply and demand. When you have X number of people that want the figure, but you only have a few of them available, that price is going to go up because people are willing to pay it. So at the end of the day, like, I don't like pejoratives like scalper because it almost shines a bad light on people in the community that it's not their game. Yeah, there are people out there that do it, but it's such an ill-fitting word to for some, because it's almost as if you want to detract from them as a person and you want to label them as a thing.
Well, that's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Terrible practice.
It's 100% a personal attack to the person indirectly because it has to do with figures. So even though they don't know you as a person, they're attacking you as a person, pretty much calling you a scumbag for doing what you're doing. You know,
Oh, that's exactly what it is. And, like maybe I'm a little bit more sensitive to this right now because I've got somebody who had been buying from me for a long time, whether it was parts, whether it was figures and other stuff, went out of my way to help the guy several times, and now it's like he feels like pasting me in the groups and trying to paint me with that scalper brush. And it's a little bit irritating because at the end of the day, the fact that it's not like he's going to hurt my business doing it. It's just that you've got somebody who's actively trying to denigrate you, and I mean that sucks. We're in a community together, and like the more people that you have selling a figure, the more competition it is. You're going to have people racing to the bottom. They're going to be lowering their price, trying to undercut the next vendor, and so on. So if anything, it's actually a benefit to the community to have more people involved who are actively trying to sell and provide these figures out, because again, you're encouraging competition at that point. But if you're going to single somebody out specifically to denigrate them and make them feel bad about what they're doing, I mean, you're just trash, and that's all there is to it.
Next time something like that happens, this is what you say.
You need people like me so you can point your fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
That's exactly how I'm responding from here out.
You need people like me. I'm a scalper, he says, licensed barber. All right, guys. So we'll be back on Saturday, tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. You don't want to miss it. It'll be a ton of fun. Mike will be here, and obviously Brandon is coming. I'll be here. So, Brandon, anything you need to say?
Not a lot. I went ahead and I mentioned last week that we are rebranding the site. So the link has changed. I'll go ahead and I'll type that in there for you now so you can share it with everybody.
I did.
The new one. This is the link for the website itself.
Oh, I got
you. So this is a new link you're going to use. The old link will still work. I'll leave it up probably for 6 months or a year, so that way people have an opportunity to adjust. It used to be the Zapco Scrapyard, but we're shifting a little bit. We're going to call it the Brandalorian Scrapyard. Yes, I know bscrap.co. That was by design. People will remember bscrap.co, and I'm all about it. It is the Brandalorian Scrapyard company. So,
all right, guys. So as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.